All right, let's talk about something that so many of us find completely confusing and, let's be honest, pretty frustrating. The whole issue around obesity. But we're going to skip the fads, forget the headlines for a bit. In this explainer, we're digging deep. We're looking at this problem not as a matter of willpower, but through the clear, unblinking eye of human physiology.
So let me start by asking a really big question. For decades, we've all been told the same thing, right? Eat less, move more. It's all about calories in, calories out. But what if that's not the whole story? What if that entire way of thinking is, well, just wrong? What if the real fight isn't happening on the treadmill, but deep, deep inside our own cells? And that's exactly what we're here to do. This isn't about my opinion or your opinion or the latest diet book. It's about solid, evidence-based science. The whole goal here is to cut through that confusion and bring some clarity, using the science of our own bodies as the ultimate guide.
Okay, so let's get into the first big idea. We have to start looking beyond the number on the scale and this whole notion that it's a personal failing. This is so important. It's not about a lack of willpower, it's about physiology gone wrong.
See, here's the absolute key. Obesity isn't just gaining weight. At its very core, it's a physiological malfunction. Think about it like this. Your body has this incredibly complex communication system, signals that tell you you're hungry or that you're full. Well, imagine that system starts getting jammed. The signals get crossed. That's what's happening. Our cells are literally starting to ignore these critical messages.
Now, to get why that breakdown is happening, we first have to understand how the machine is supposed to work. So let's think of your digestive system less like a simple pipe and more like a super sophisticated chemical laboratory. It's the engine that processes every single thing you eat.
And that engine has a few key stations. First stop, the mouth. That's where the mechanical breakdown starts. Then, the food heads down to the stomach, where acids get to work. But honestly, the real action, the main event, happens right here, in the small intestine. This place is like mission control. It's the critical decision point where the fate of every single molecule you ate gets decided.
And at that decision point, there's one character that runs the whole show, a master regulator. It's a hormone you've probably heard of called insulin, and believe me, it is absolutely central to this entire story.
Insulin's job is, well, just massively important. The best way to think of it is as a key. Its whole purpose is to float through your bloodstream, find your cells, and literally unlock the door to let energy, glucose, get inside and power everything you do.
Now, when your body is working right, this whole lock and key system is beautiful. It's seamless. The insulin key fits the lock, the cell door opens, energy gets in, everybody's happy. But in the situation of obesity, something goes very wrong. It's a condition called insulin resistance. It's like the lock on that cell door gets all gummed up and jammed. The key is there, trying to do its job, but it just doesn't work anymore. The cells stop responding. And that right there is the core of the malfunction.
So, the obvious question is, right? If the lock is jammed, what's jamming it? And the answer takes us all the way down to the molecular level. To really get this, we have to stop thinking about food as just food and start thinking about the specific molecules we're putting in our bodies.
And that brings us to what might be the single most important idea in this entire explainer. Not all calories are created equal. I mean, we've got to get this out of our heads. This is not just some catchy phrase. It's a hard and fast biological reality. Different molecules from different foods trigger completely different instructions inside our bodies.
So you've got two teams fighting it out. On one side, you've got the harmful molecules. Think refined sugars, high fructose corn syrup, trans fats. These things create what the science calls metabolic noise. It's like static on the radio line, just confusing your body's signals. They're the ones jamming the locks on our cells and telling our body to store dangerous fat. But on the other side, we have our molecular allies, things like fiber, amazing plant compounds, and those healthy omega-3 fatty acids. And let's just look at what our allies do for us. Fiber is a total hero. It slows down how fast sugar hits your system, which keeps your insulin stable. Then you've got things like polyphenols. These are the powerful compounds in foods like berries and green tea that can actually help flip on the genes that tell your body to burn fat. And finally, omega-3s. They're crucial for fighting off the dangerous inflammation that all that internal fat causes.
So, once you understand this molecular battle, suddenly the path forward becomes so much clearer. It's not about starving yourself. It's not about punishing yourself at the gym. It's about changing the types of molecules, the type of information you're sending to your cells.
And this is really the big takeaway. The goal is not another temporary diet.
We're looking for something much more profound. We're looking for a way to synchronize our nutrition with our physiology. You see the difference? It's about finally working with our biology instead of constantly fighting against it. It's about giving our body the right information so that amazing engine can finally run the way it was designed to.
So I'll leave you with this to chew on. Literally, the next time you sit down to eat and you look at your plate, don't just ask the old question, how many calories are here? Ask a much better, much more powerful question. What is the science of this plate? What kind of molecular information am I about to send to my cells? Because as we've just seen, that information is everything.